an achievement that is to be undisputed champion. And then he gets in the ring and he don't look like he's worked really hard to build himself into a super middleweight. He just looked like he's been to In-N-Out Burger a few times.
Pro boxing fans here in Sheffield for Wood Warrington. With me, Dave Coldwell. Dave, obviously one of your charges are on the card. But first of all, how's life? How are you?
Very good, thanks. Very good. Loving the gym, home life, everything. It's good.
Hopey Price out again, looking happy. Normally when a fighter is happy on fight 2 days before his fight, it means he's good with his weight, he's good with everything right now. He's got a good smile on his face. He looks happy, man.
I just think if you prepare right, there's no real need or room for demons. You know, demons in your head. You're just looking forward to going out there and expressing yourself, and that's how we view it with Hopey. You know, everything's done. There's nothing else you can do. If things that you're not happy with in camp, you get to this stage, there's nothing you can do about it. So there's no point in worrying about it. You just go and just express yourself, and that's whether it's a good camp, bad camp. You know, every trainer says, "Oh, best camp ever." Every fighter says, "Oh, best camp ever." The real life is some camps are better than others. You've just got to go in there and do whatever you need to do to win the fight. But having said that, best camp ever.
Fair enough. Let's talk about main event. Just give me your thoughts on it. A lot of people saying Warrington maybe past his best. And I'm watching Carl Froch, and he was saying on his podcast that with Warrington's style, you know, the hard-working, come-forward style, that it does diminish over time, and you know he might be past his best because of that. Do you feel that is the case? That maybe he has, you know, there's been a couple of fights too many for Josh Warrington, or do we see the warrior in him come out on Saturday?
Regardless of whether he's past his best or not, you will see warrior in him. Yeah. That shit don't leave. You know, that's not going anywhere from Josh Warrington. If he's, you know, perhaps, I'm not saying he is, but if they can't do what they used to do, they still grind out what they've got left, that warrior spirit and you know, just that fighting instinct that he's got. So regardless, you'll see him give it everything that he's got. Listen, his last fight he got beat by Lopez. Very good fighter, very awkward fighter. Hard to get a read on that timing. It took him about 6 rounds to get a read on that timing. And then he closed the fight at the back end. What happened? Right? So if he's a shot fighter or gone too much, that wouldn't have happened. He might have had a couple of good rounds in there and then faded again, but he didn't. He got his momentum, he got the read and got through it. Lopez has gone on to do a really good job on Michael Conlan, who's a fantastic fighter. So you can't go, oh, he's shit now, he's past it now. He might well not be as good as what he once was, going on the damage that he took in the Lara fight, and then wear and tear and things like that, and obviously took hard shots from Lopez. Look at Kiko Martinez. Look at how he bit down and got rid of Kiko, and he got hurt in that fight. Kiko can punch, but again he ground it out. Sooner or later these kind of fights catch up on you. Will it be Saturday night? I don't know, but Leigh Wood's not a spring chicken himself. You know, I don't think this comes down to he's past it, he's not, he's past it, because Leigh Wood's knocking on. It's just that Leigh Wood's understanding of boxing now is better than it ever has been, and because he understands what his capabilities are now, he understands the setups, he understands now how to deliver his power punches. He's always been able to punch, but now it seems he's punching harder because he knows how to deliver it. It's not good being able to punch if you don't know how to deliver it properly. And now he knows that, he understands that, and that's why you're seeing the results. And he understands about controlling the range. And I think the key to this for me isn't like what's Warrington got left. It's, can he dictate the range? Because I believe that if it's at Leigh Wood's range, Leigh Wood wins the fight. And because he hits hard enough, he can chip away, and I can see him stopping Warrington. But if Warrington gets on his chest, listen, I've said it before. Warrington uses his head. You can't deny that fact. Whether it's accidental or it's on purpose, his style means that the top of his head is going to bump you in your face. If that ruffles Leigh, if that takes him out of his rhythm, gets him agitated, makes him make mistakes, lift him up, then that gives Josh Warrington more of a chance. Because if Josh gets on his chest, that's Josh Warrington's kind of fight, and that could make Leigh unravel. So this fight could go either way. I genuinely think it could go either way. I'm so excited for it because I think it's such a good fight. It's almost a 50-50, but I think it's a 51-49. And I'm going to go with Leigh Wood on a 51-49.
Okay, got it.
Because I think that he will be able to control the distance for the majority of the fight.
Totally get that. Let's quickly talk about boxing before I do let you go. You've done a fair few interviews today, so I'm going to try to keep it as short as possible. But look, we've seen that a fight's been announced that we've all wanted to see and we all want to see. It looks like Usyk is going to be fighting Tyson Fury. You know what, Dave? Like I said to Jamie Moore, been in boxing a long time. Until both men are in the ring, that's when we know it's done, because we heard the same thing about AJ and Wilder and everything else. But let's just go off that. It looks like we're a step closer to that fight happening. Let's be positive. Any thoughts, any changes in your mindset about how that fight's go after Usyk's last fight with Dubois?
I think if you're going on the back of that, you got to say that Fury is a favorite. Listen, Fury favourite anyway. I just think the size of him will be the difference, or could be the difference. I think for me, Usyk's got all the tools and the ability to beat him. Genuinely has. But do I think just that size is going to be a bit too much for him at this stage of Usyk's career? Listen, Usyk's had a long career himself. A lot of amateurs. He's no spring chicken. His peak sort of movement days and angles days were at cruiserweight. The heavier he's got just slows him down that little bit. I think the size might be a bit too much for him. But I can't wait. It's a good fight. And listen, it's fantastic that it looks like it's on. So until I hear it's not on, it's on.
Hopefully this fight's on, which means we should start, well, we hope that the rest of the heavyweight division follows suit. Hopefully we get to see AJ Wilder, maybe AJ Zhang, maybe, we get to see some of these big boys, because if you want to be very truthful, there's been a lot of craziness in that division where we haven't seen the fights. A lot of announcements have happened, but we haven't got to see the fights, unfortunately. As boxing fans, there's a lot of frustration because we're actually in an era where there's probably 4 or 5 top quality heavyweights, but still we only got to see maybe Fury and Wilder mix up so far.
I've said it and I mean it. Don't judge boxing on heavyweight division. Heavyweight division has been a shambles this year. It's been an absolute shambles. There's no getting away from it. It's all about money, money, money. I get that, they want to earn so much money, but you're talking about super rich guys talking about money and stopping fights from happening because they want more money.
All right, question off that. I don't want to cut you off, but is the Saudi money a gift or a curse? Because we know it's the Saudi money that's held up all of this.
Yeah, it's a bit of both, isn't it? It's a gift if you're getting it and it happens. Fucking hell, it's a great gift. But listen, the problem with that is everybody's waiting, but it might not come. So get on with your shit, and then if you get a call and it's done, there you go, happy days. Do you know what I mean?
Final one before I do let you go. Canelo fought Jermell Charlo. Easy enough fight. I think a lot of people said, listen, Charlo just came in for the payday. You can read it out however you want to. Straight away, Chris Eubank Jr. has been on social and said, listen, I'm not going to lay down like him. I want to win. I want to show that I'm the best of this division. Do you feel like maybe a couple of years ago, Chris wasn't in a position to sort of call a Canelo? Or do you feel like right now that maybe he's a little bit closer? Do you feel like he's got no chance of that fight?
Any fighter can call out anybody. You've seen it before. Kids at 3-0 calling out kids that are like 18-0 knocking on door for titles. It doesn't mean that they've earned it, but the name might give weight towards it if they're looking around for an opponent. But Canelo's got people like Benavidez that he can fight.
That's the fight.
He's got, he's got Bivol if he wants to do the rematch against Bivol. There's other fights out there that are a bit more meaningful. If Canelo beats Chris Eubank Jr., and what does that do for Canelo's resume, career? Does it enhance his rep? No, not all. I get why he's doing it. He wants that Canelo money, and I get what he's saying. he won't just go there for the paycheck like Charlo did. I 100% agree with that. I think Eubank Jr. would give it a go, but he'd be completely out of his depth. So I understand why he's calling for it, because he believes that you got to back yourself. You can't knock him for it, but don't think it happens. No. And if it did happen, I'd be like, really? Because then I think Canelo gets shit for not fighting Benavidez or Bivol.
I think probably the Benavidez fight is the one that most have called after Saturday night.
Charlo, can I just say, Charlo, the guy's undisputed. He's an undisputed champion.
Yeah, but he moved up 2 weights as well. Do you feel like okay? Let me ask you about that fight.
Don't do it then. If you don't fancy it, don't do it, because he's undisputed champion. That's like, what an achievement that is, to be undisputed champion. And then he gets in the ring and he don't look like he's worked really hard to build himself into a super middleweight. He just looked like he's been to In-N-Out Burger a few times, and then he's gone in there and usually talks a lot of shit, and then he's been quite reserved, and then he's gone in there and just boxed for the money. And then he said after the fight, basically, he's talking about how, he stopped these guys, he stopped them guys, didn't stop me, and he's calling out Crawford. Come on back of that. I thought it was a bit of a dud, really.
It is what it is, unfortunately, but let's see what's next for Canelo. Hopefully, like a lot of fans have called, it's a Benavidez fight, a good little Mexican tear-up. But let's see what happens with that. Dave, listen, it's always a pleasure talking to yourself. I know you've done loads of interviews and you've got to go and sit with your man and just chill out. Thank you very much, and no doubt, I'll speak to you very soon. Thank you for talking to Pro Boxer fans.